Welcome, folks. Welcome to Fantasy Golf TV. I'm your host, Jeff Deal. We have the legendary sidekick here that seems to be with me a lot. I really appreciate you joining.
I've graduated to legendary status now.
Brian Steffen, you are, man. I mean, even though I'm not going to bust your chops too much.
Yes, you are.
Last week's show, we talked about who we're going to put on team. You said, you shouldn't put him on any team. Save him. And you did fall down in the ranks a little bit. And I won't tell the folks where you are, but if they're in our league, you can check it out.
I've never had to scroll down that far to
yes,
find my
you're
name.
scrolling, man. You're scrolling. You're going to get carpal tunnel scrolling that much.
Well, everybody likes a comeback story, so I'm going to have to give him one.
Well, it's the first week, so we do have the first week in the book.
Well, see, that's it. It's strategy. And if you haven't been able to figure out, I did not put Jordan Spieth on my team. And even worse, I had Patrick Reed, and then I never put him in the lineup.
You must have had a busy weekend.
Well, here's the thing.
I didn't wild card weekend. I know everybody was kind of busy.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't start him Thursday, okay, and he went low. And I have a strategy that's almost foolproof. No matter who it is, a guy goes really low on Thursday, they rarely follow it up with another low round on Friday.
Right.
So when he went out so low on Thursday, even if I started him, I would have benched him for Friday.
Right.
So I left
him on the bench.
Left him on the bench. And then I got busy over the weekend, and when I went to change on Saturday, I missed the deadline.
You missed the deadline.
I missed the deadline. So...
At
that point, I was so far behind.
That's the strategies. We'll give you strategies, opinions. We'll critique things. Discussions.
It's 1 week. I'm not upset.
No, and that's what the show's all about, though, to help folks and figure things out. You're obviously going to be helping folks. You're down there. You're down on the bottom, but you're going to be working your way back, and I know you will. You're smart, and folks listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. So
I think everybody picked Jordan Spieth this week but me.
The show is into. I totally agree.
I think that's probably why I'm so far behind.
You look at the numbers. I mean,
I didn't have a
top winner is 267. That's
267 points in 1 week.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
200. There are five. The top 5 people finished above 200.
Yeah.
I bet if we went and looked back at all last year, how many weeks the winner finished above 200.
And folks, I'll tell you, I took his advice. I did not put Jordan on my team, and I'm now in the middle of the pack.
But think about it. There's how many times did the winner of our league get above 200 points? I bet it didn't happen that many times.
No, it didn't. 205 was always a very good week.
So
yeah.
So the funny thing is, my 134 has me third to last. But in a normal week.
But that's the typical.
That's a typical score.
That's typical tournament at Kapalua because there's only 32 guys playing.
30 people.
So you can get a lot of high scores.
So if everybody decided to get out there and everybody took Jordan Spieth or everybody took, I mean, I didn't have – normally when you fall that far behind, prime example of this week, not to make excuses, I played some guys on the wrong days, and I just didn't think Spieth would come out like that, and he did. But I didn't have a single player shoot a round over par. I don't think anybody did, hardly the whole time at Kapalua. But
for some reason, the scores, I mean, they were lighting it up. But
perfect conditions there.
It was perfect conditions.
The wind didn't blow like it normally does.
But they still talk about that being a difficult golf course. I mean, you could hit it for a mile.
I don't understand how it's a hard – how they can say it's hard.
But they said it again on the Golf Channel this morning.
I think
I was like, what are they talking about?
Here's why I think they say that. They can't just go out there and say, well, this is a pitch and putt course, or this is a easy course.
True.
They can't just go out there and say, I don't even know why they play here because these guys are just tearing it up. They should toughen it up. What are they going to say?
I guess. I don't know. Well, this coming week at Sony Open they're playing a 7,000-yard course. So talk about a little shorter.
Yeah.
A big field, 130 players.
The yardage at Kapalua is misleading, though.
It's as long as it is wide. You can't miss, man.
Well, what is it on the back? Is it 14? The par 5 is the par. There's a par 4 longer than 3 of the par 5s.
Yeah, that was. Is that 14?
Is it 14?
I think it's 14.
Yeah, but everybody hit a 350-yard drive because it's all downhill.
Right.
If you got out on that right-hand side of the fairway,
you just,
in that jet stream, and you hit on the downslope, you rolled for another 70 yards.
Yeah.
I mean.
But still, I know we talked about it, and we'll move on to the Sony Open coming up. But you made a comment last week's show about can he continue that torrid putting pace? And what do you think now? I mean,
I'm not changing over 1 week, Jeff.
Do you have it? I mean, he's got it, man.
He has a tremendous putting stroke. we were talking about longevity of his career.
Yeah.
And will he continue at this kind of pace, or will there be downsides?
Right.
My prediction was there will be downsides
Well, I think you're right.
because he can't keep up that kind of putting.
And I
I
think,
could be wrong.
well, everybody does, but do you think it was a statement, or do you think he's just continuing where he left off?
I think it's just the fact of the kid's just continuing where he's left off.
I agree.
Because nothing in his game looked different.
Peter Jacobs said that on the air that this kid's going to make a statement, and I don't consider it a statement. It's just he's just so good.
He won 2 majors in the FedEx Cup last year. What hell of a more of a statement does he need to make?
Right.
Unless the statement is, this is what I'm going to do every year, and I'm going to win another 2 majors in the FedEx Cup again this year.
Right.
I mean, unless that's the statement.
Well, listen, folks, we're going to I've already put some things on our Facebook page, so contact us, facebook.com/fantasygolftv. Check our website. I'm going to be blogging. You guys can blog on our website, fantasygolftv.com, and Twitter @fantasygolftv. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get some input. Any problems you're having, suggestions, ask Brian and I. We're available. Go to thegolfdirector.com. You can contact us anytime through there. We're on that staff page, and check out our on-demand shows, and you get some insight and information for your teams to help out. It's a long season in our league. It's the second week. We just got off to start, and but there's a lot of different leagues out there that people need help week to week. So that's why we're here. I mean, it's we're helping. My intent is to help the newcomers in getting into fantasy golf, as well as some of the the veterans to prepare for their weekend's team. So hopefully we can help them out.
Yeah, and every week, listen, that's the thing about the state of golf right now. I mean, everything we can say can sound great, and then turn around and be totally different.
Go ahead. Yeah.
on the course through the week. I mean, it's the tour itself right now is just that.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good players. You just don't know. And there are more young players coming up. This week is a good indication because some of the big dogs that played last week won't they stay on the island.
They do.
But they don't play.
They don't play. There's only, I think, 11 of the top 30 on the money list playing this week.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of the guys are just hanging out with their families.
Zach Johnson's in the field again this week.
Zach
Jimmy Walker's in this week.
Jimmy Walker, I mean, he's got a three-peat. He's got a three-peat coming.
Yeah, by the way, if you don't take Jimmy Walker this week, drop out. Cancel your account and drop out of fantasy golf because you should never play again. If you
Go buy a tennis racket.
Yeah, bowling balls are probably on sale this time of year. Zach Johnson, Jimmy Walker, Brandt Snedeker,
Matt Kuchar, the quiet giant.
He's got to be starting to fall out of that
You think so?
realm.
I'm going to give him one more year.
Everybody still likes him, but other than, what has he won?
Yeah, but again, we're talking fantasy. Right. He gets me points.
He's a point getter.
If
you pick him in the right tournament,
no question,
and the courses he's comfortable at, you got to look at history, and that's one of the things when you're talking about picking fantasy players. It's if you approach this, my opinion, and is what got me to third place finish last year. If you look every week in and week out, and try to pick the winner, you get frustrated when you don't. Hang it up.
Yeah.
You're never going
to. You do. And you get frustrated. And you fall into this, I need to pick a winner. I need to pick a winner.
Then you fall
do
behind.
research on winners.
Yeah.
Instead of who plays well in the venue.
Look at the guys that play well in the venue. And I don't care if they've never won it.
Yeah.
If you read that guys like, and even if they haven't been playing well, guys that, guys like Charles Howell III.
I got him up right now. I was just looking at his stats.
Perez.
Yep.
Boo Weekly, Keegan Bradley, those guys. There are certain courses like that they haven't won anything in a while, and you would think, oh, well, why would you pick them?
Right.
But when you're playing certain courses, they light it up. They love it. It's their favorite places, and so they earn you points. They might not win.
Well, let's see. I brought up Charles Howell. He's recorded 8 top 10 finishes since 2002. And he just loves those venues.
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
Yeah, play him. He should be on your team this week.
He is going to be on my team.
He should be on
now,
everybody's
I'll probably
team this week.
start him on a bench just to see how he comes out of the blocks. I need to see where he's at with his game. I haven't heard much about him on the offseason. But
is he on the B list? That affects things as well.
Yes.
What list is he on?
Let's double check, and that's true. It's really important. And I think let's see. I'm going to pick my team right now, and I always do that for you guys. And so week 2, this is the Sony Open, and I've already got him on my team.
He's on the B list.
He's on the B list. Yep.
And he's got to be on your team.
Yep.
He is that. Jimmy Walker's on the B list. How about that for this event?
And look at all these young guys. I mean, from McGirt to Brendan Todd.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an oldie but a goodie. Davis Love is playing.
He played last week.
I think he's trying to make his own Ryder Cup team. I really do. I think he's trying to come out of the box.
You think the win last year kind of jump-started his
Yeah.
Actually, I think the reason he's playing this week is his son's in the field again.
Ah, there you go.
He's playing with his not with his son again, but
Right.
they're both in the field. Luke
Which
Donald.
I'm okay with that.
Luke Donald, who hasn't done hardly anything lately, is when I say lately, I mean the last couple of years. It always plays well.
Harris English plays well there.
In
He's
this
playing
event.
well. He's played well the wraparound season. He finished strong the last fall. So I like Harris English. I think he's
the way Snedeker played last week talks me into maybe liking him this week.
he's on my team. Yep.
And then the B list this time of year is the longest, deepest list.
Yeah, and it's
when
tough.
when you're going on Yahoo. That's where.
And if you're looking at it and you're new to fantasy, you just look down that list. You say, "Well, damn,
Yeah.
I got to pick 4 guys out of all them."
Well, that's where sometimes if you want, because you have 4 guys in the B list, that's a spot to take a flyer. If you feel really good about somebody, especially these young guys, if you think for whatever reason that somebody like a Zach Blair or a Will McGirt, like you talked about, or
I like him,
or Morgan Hoffman or John Curran, some of these guys that are only in their second year, on the tour, maybe haven't broken through and got that win yet. If you feel that, this is an event they could take advantage of because there aren't a lot of big names, go ahead and put them on your roster.
No
Put 'em on your
question.
team.
Yeah, even guys like Webb Simpson and
Or old veterans.
George McNeil. He's actually an older rookie.
Well,
and look at how they play. Look at how they finished last year. And remember, it's a 36-week season, so. I regret not starting guns to get off to a good start last week, but I'm still going to hold that line. I'm in the middle of the pack. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm gonna rise to the occasion on some tournaments, and but like you said earlier, Jimmy Walker. I mean, the numbers on Jimmy Walker. I mean, he's a 2-time winner, right?
This event,
right?
Yeah.
He's going for a three-peat. He shot 62 and 63 on the weekend last year. Separated themselves. He won by 9 shots.
Yeah.
He had 7 of the final. He birdied 7 of the final 11 holes. He wound up being the largest margin of victory on the PGA Tour in 5.5 years.
Yep.
So, and although his production tapered off a little bit after last early good start, he still finished 10th just this past week. So he likes the venue. And in Maui, where this tournament is at the Sony Open, he's 40 under par for this entire event the last 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't take him, it's ridiculous.
No question about it.
Jimmy Walker's one of those guys that he plays well during certain times of the year, and can't figure it out. But he does not play like in the middle of the summer. He doesn't play well.
Right.
He plays well early in the year.
Well, here's a guy. Mark Leishman played last weekend. I like him this week. I think I'm going to put him on my team, put him on the bench, see how he comes out. I think he's a Hawaii player. He's getting better and better each year. He had a
bad pick.
He had a top 10 finish here, 2013, 2014. Last year he was tied for 37th results, but he did shoot 62 in the second round, so I like that. So he can score on the course. He played pretty good this week. I saw he missed a couple of punts this past weekend that I think if he could straighten that out, that's just a couple strokes. I think he'll. I like him.
I like you talking about that C list as we're looking at it. I like Fabian Gomez.
Well, he played well this.
He
come in third.
He did. He got his first win. Earlier in the fall.
Yep.
And obviously he's riding that momentum
Yep.
because he played well at Kapalua, now staying on the island, playing again this week. I like him.
There's another name that I kept picking last year. I kept putting him on my team, and he did nothing for me. But I'm not going to give up on the kid, Scott Piercy. I know
You and I both, and I like him. And I had him this week, and he did okay.
he did.
He did. He did. I used him. Yeah,
He got
did
you, what,
okay.
24 points
Yes.
or something?
Yes.
Yeah. So he did pretty good. And folks, when you're on, if you're on the Yahoo leagues or whatever league you're on, I mean, we talk about Yahoo often because I'm in a couple different leagues in Yahoo, and our TGD TV radio league is there, and we have a lot of people in it, a lot of interest. Navigate this. We have one of my members at the club is in fantasy golf for the first time, and he's calling me and texting me like every 20 minutes trying to figure out the website. And older guy, but he's having fun doing it. And so you got to navigate. Take your time in the beginning. Just spend some time the first couple of weeks and learn the point system. Learn your research. Excuse me. Your golfer performance, your golfer distribution. And you'll get the hang of it, and it's going to be a lot of fun for the whole summer. It's a 36-week season, and it's a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. You can take there's a couple ways to look at this because you're on the island. There's guys that typically play well in Hawaii, but then you can also look at back-to-back weeks since only about half the field that played last week is playing again this week.
Right.
Look at who finished well and who played well. Would you want to carry them? Would you want to carry them on and pick them this week, even if you didn't play them last week,
Right.
or even if you did?
Sorry,
You
guys.
know,
I'm battling a little.
Hang in there, brother. We
bronchitis
got you. We got you. Just keep coughing that way. Just keep coughing at camera. Just keep coughing at camera number one.
I think I got it from you last week.
For me, don't tell people what we do off camera. So, another name that stands out, jumps off the page because he's got to win, and I think it's going to be sooner than later. He's on the A list if we're talking about the Yahoo League. Is Tony Finau.
He was on my team.
He doesn't have, obviously he doesn't really. There's not much of a history here at this event. Fact. He hasn't played well here in the past. To be honest, he's played here twice, and his average finish is 99th.
He's on the A list. Yep, there he
He's
is.
on the A list, but he's the kind of guy that could break out. So if you're looking for somebody who's got to win soon,
Excuse me,
you got to
sorry.
go with him.
Well, I'm looking at. I'm bringing up last year's stats. He played a lot,
He did.
and he had a really good year. I mean, he was middle of the pack a lot. Made
Yeah.
a lot of money. They should have a total here on money. What he made.
Justin Thomas is a guy that a lot of people like this week. You mentioned him before, I think. We talked about him earlier, Pat Perez.
Pat Perez, he loves Hawaii.
He
doesn't
plays well in Hawaii.
Loves Hawaii.
Now, if you're talking about a guy who's going to get you some points, probably won't win the tournament. Yeah, I hate to say that about anybody, but they're not winning the tournament. But he can get you some points.
Sorry.
Pat Perez, Russell Henley, who
I like
You
Russell.
know,
Russell
plays
Knox
well
started.
over here, too.
Russell got into the tournament last weekend with a win in the fall, and I think he's coming around. I like him.
he's won this event before.
We haven't
a couple
mentioned
years ago.
Kevin Kistner. Kevin obviously played well. He came in sixth last week,
Yeah.
so
Kisner's a guy I think we're going to be talking about a lot this year.
I agree. Justin Thomas, another young guy.
Yep.
Tony Finau is another guy I like. Here's an oldie but a goodie. Now, obviously, anchoring is done. You cannot anchor your. So, what about Adam Scott?
Well,
he usually plays well in this venue.
I was going to say there's two guys in the field this week to keep an eye on just to see how they do. Now, Adam Scott, we've seen him putt with the short putter. He was doing that some last year.
Yeah, not good though.
Well, okay.
The results weren't good.
All I said was we've seen him putt with it. I didn't say he putted well. I just said we've seen him putt with it. But who did not make the switch in advance and was trying to make hay while the sun shined, and now the sun ain't shining on him anymore. Tim Clark's in the field this week.
Wow, what's that going to be like?
I'm interested to see him.
What about
He's been broom putt handle putting for how long now?
yeah,
Tim Clark,
17,
He's an older guy.
18 years?
right? He's in his 40s.
Yeah.
So
What about Carl Peterson? He's
Yeah.
a senior tour player now, isn't he?
is he that old?
I don't know.
I thought
I didn't see him on a list, so
I thought Tim Clark would be old. Is getting close to the senior tour, but
I just went back to our league. I want to see Jeff. How did you finish, Jeff? Jeff behind the glass. You there?
Yeah, I had 148 points.
Okay, there you go.
damn, I even lost
there
to
it
the
is.
boss.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're one of the few people I beat last week.
Oh, well.
guys.
I mean,
apologize for coughing.
I
folks.
won one, or not one. I finished at the top last year with like 160, and this time with 148, I'm
Yeah.
in the bottom
Well,
half.
that's what I was saying. In a limited field like this, you can tell all these high scores. I didn't look at the teams, but I'm not wasting my time because I know I'm right. Everybody took
Right.
Jordan Spieth
Yep.
or Patrick Reed.
Or Patrick Reed.
Everybody took
and
both
or,
of them.
Even Jimmy Walker.
Or probably both of them.
Yeah.
Because one was on the A list, one was on the B list, and played them.
Well, Sony Open. Obviously, folks, look at everything. I mean, it's a shorter course. It's only 7,044 yards, right?
It's a short
It's
course
tight.
at 7,000.
Well, what you're used to
Yeah.
playing. But
Things have changed. Haven't they?
Yeah, right. Remember when they stretched the courses out to 7,000 to try to do something to stop Tiger? And now we're saying it's only 7,000 yards.
I mean, look at it. It's Hawaii wins. Look at your low ball hitters. A good way to research that. Do your research on the last couple of years. I know I had Shan and Frank. They split a team. Shan here at golfdirector.com. She looks back 2 years and goes to the venues, and she did well last year, and she really researches well. So, all right, let's get to our picks. I've already put my team in, but I'm going to probably tweak it like I always talk about. Your team, just give me one lock that you're
Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker. Okay,
I mean-
and then and that's your B player. What about an A player?
An A player lock?
A player lock. Bring up your A list.
All right, hang on.
And there's no research there for this year. There's all, and it's funny. There's not many players to choose from.
A player lock. I got to go based on the field and history. A good player to put on that's going to get you points. Russell Henley, because he's won at this venue before.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That was 3 years ago.
I think, and right behind him, he would be 1A, and probably 1B would be probably Justin Thomas.
I think I like Justin Thomas. I originally had him on. I pulled him. Something about Chris Kirk this week. He didn't play particularly well last week, but there were spurts that he looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he loves Hawaii. So I'm going to put Chris Kirk on my team right now. And I like Gary Woodland at this venue, too.
I also like Pat Perez.
Excuse me.
I also like Pat Perez.
Pat always plays well in Hawaii.
Plays well in Hawaii.
Plays well on the West Coast, Always plays well at
He
Pebble.
plays great till March.
Yeah.
Because he plays great out west. He plays good at Pebble. He plays good in Phoenix. He plays good at Riviera. He plays well at all those courses out there. And then they come to Florida after being out west, and it's like he forgets to get on the plane.
I said last year, I always monitor his Facebook pages to see where he's at, what bars he's at night. And that'll always determine whether I'm going to bench him or not.
Yeah, right? It's not a bad strategy, by the way.
It's not. I mean, they're all out there.
He's
on
almost
Twitter
more fun to keep up with than Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
And he doesn't put on disguises. He just doesn't care.
So bring up C. Let's give the folks one for the C,
All right,
just to
the
see who
C
you
list.
like. And it's a vast list, so it's tough.
It's
but
a huge list.
Yeah,
but I might be with you for a definite.
You like Scott Piercy?
No, the other one you mentioned,
Mark
Mark
Leishman.
Leishman.
Yeah,
I might be with you.
Yeah, he's on my team right now. And again, folks, I haven't finished my research. It's Tuesday. I got 2 days till the balls go in the air, and so I'm gonna do a little more research.
I also, but I got a gut feeling the way he's been playing right now. My 2C players, in addition to Leishman, is Fabian Gomez.
Right. And then remember, Matt Kuchar is a C player. So
Is he on the C list?
And I think right now he's on my team.
He's
Matt
got
Kuchar.
history at this course.
He does.
So
he's actually starting for me right now. My starting, folks, I'll give you my starting lineup right now is Chris Kirk starting. I got Jimmy Walker starting, Harris English starting, and Matt Kuchar right now starting. So those are my recommendations right now for week 2 in any league that you are in for the Sony Open. And anything else you want to add for the folks?
I'll run down my starters. I got Russell Henley, Brant Snedeker, Jimmy Walker, and Fabian Gomez.
Brant Snedeker. Good job there.
Brant Snedeker. He played really well last week.
He did. Came in third.
Yes.
Right? Tied for third with Gomez.
Yeah.
Right?
How about if I help you out with this today?
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, you rock, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. We got some information for you, folks. Brian's gonna.
Good show, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about the coughing.
We'll drug him up for a week and he'll be good to go next week.
Well, there was no whiskey behind here for me, so.
You told me last week you weren't drinking. We have to have that another conversation. That's why you're sick.
Whiskey's in the
appreciate
bar. That's where we keep it.
That's why you're sick. He didn't drink last week. Golf Director Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, make sure you check out our featured golf course pages. That's where you're going to find up-to-date information about course condition specials and a whole lot more. When you need to book your next golf vacation, hashtag just call Dave. Give us a call at 844-464-6531. All the TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. If you want to catch up on a show you might have missed, just click on the Golf Director radio or TV tabs in the menu at thegolfdirector.com. 1 billion devices is where you can find us. We're on iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Periscope, Catch Me, and the Myrtle Beach Golf app here in town. So check that out. It gives you sites on all kinds of happenings going on here in Myrtle Beach because we're coming up on golf season again.
We are.
This has been Fantasy Golf TV for the host, the man, the myth, the legend over there, Jeff Deal coughing his head off. I'm Brian Seven, the Golf Monger. Happy to be here. Thanks for tuning in. There's more Golf Director news and information coming up next, so stay tuned.
Back next Tuesday.